All right, we are back. Qualifying run 2 here at Formula Drift Japan, EBISU circuit. Bit of action here going on. We just had a couple of very interesting runs. We just had Ben Williams go into the dirt wall just outside of the first outer zone. And we saw Hirohide Tanaka struggling, doing his best to get through the run. He had a great entry, but yeah, lost his drift and didn't manage to complete the satisfaction. So yeah, exciting. Anyway, so we're about to begin our next group of drivers. We have Shinji Minoa, JZX90 Mark II. Shinji from Heyman. Out on the track right now. Okay, here comes Shinji in these very wet conditions now, shifting through the gears. Very early initiation on the handbrake.
This is their, this is their
oh,
practice.
sorry, okay, yep, sorry. This is, so, let me explain. We're allowing all the drivers to try out the conditions just to see how wet they are, so they have a bit of an idea of what they need to do going into the actual qualifying run.
One noticeable driver absent in this group of 5 is actually Daigo
Saito.
So we'll see if he actually even decides to make it out. Sitting on a 61 with a couple guys with double zeros, he's obviously going to make it in, but I wonder if he maybe is just trying to save the vehicle, not risk it for tomorrow. Could be an interesting strategy from him, but who knows?
Well, Daigo Saito, that's by far the heaviest well, I don't know, the handling, but going by the handling, looks like the heaviest car here. If he lost control of that, it would probably be going into the next state, up and over the wall. So, yeah, we were meant to have Daigo Saito in this group, but we'll see what he ends up doing. So there we go, we have these guys, so you can see there the rain on the camera lens there. These are our conditions here today at EBISU Circuit, Nishi course. Of course, if you're thinking, hang on, isn't EBISU Circuit that one with the jump? That's actually a different track. There's quite a few tracks at EBISU Circuit. We have yep, Mad Mike in the stands. He had his run before. He had a fairly good run. A score of 94 in the Team Magic and Red Bull RX-7 quad rotor. So he's one of our international drivers here today. Of course, we do also have Matt Field from the USA. Because we also have Andrew Gray, who is basically based in Japan. He's a Scottish guy, but he's also driving this year in Formula Drift in the USA. So it'll be all those guys we just saw taking their little practice run. They're lining up on the start line right now. So Shinji Minoa is back on the start line. He'll be sent out very shortly. So we're into our second group of qualifying drivers. We're starting very shortly. So dry all this morning, dry during practice, dry during the first qualifying run. And literally as soon as we're about to begin the second qualifying runs, it started raining. And you can see wipers on full there for Shinji Minoa. Heyman, JZX90 Mark II. So here he goes, enters with a nice long handbrake slide all the way out to the edge of the track. Outer zone number 1. Very, keeping it fairly conservative here. Whoa, okay, we just saw something there. Something, the rear suspension just popped. Well, we can see the wheel at a bit of a funny angle there. Yeah, just saw there on the second outer zone, something sort of went pop like that.
It may have been the indention from the track to the rumble strips. Let's take a look though. Minoa into initiation here. Pretty decent on that first outer zone, all things considered. Comes off a little bit early, wrapping around this first inside clip. Now watch right here. Watch when he goes over that bump. Yeah, it looks like it just gets caught up there.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And no harm, no foul, it seems like. Vehicle looks in full condition. And overall, a pretty decent run considering we still have pretty slick conditions out there. And Minoa does have a score of a 64, so we'll see on the judges' curve where that will land him in the top 32.
Yeah, I don't think that was a mechanical issue. Yeah, there is actually a bit of a divot in the track over there. We just saw there Shinji on his run. He was taking a very wide and early line. The line on that run he took was a little bit different to you know, the drivers, most of the drivers today, just simply because it is wet. So he just hit a little part of the track that hasn't been hit before. So that's all that was. So no problem. So we'll be getting a score there for Shinji Minoa. So a score of 70 there for Shinji Minoa. So a slight improvement. His first one was a 64. So a bit of an improvement there for Shinji Minoa. Shinji doing very well recently in competition here today at Formula Drift Japan. Give us next driver here, Ben Chiam, Fat 5 Racing, which is Daigo Saito's shop. Daigo fabricated this car for him. Very nice looking R35 GTR with the Liberty Walk body kit on there. Full Liberty Walk kit, including the rear wing, which looks pretty cool on this car. Probably was the one of the bigger cars here before Daigo brought his Dodge out. Okay, getting it off the line. Yeah, much more difficult than this morning. Getting that power down. Ben Chiam pulling up the handbrake, sliding into the outer zone. I wonder if this is the first time that Ben has ever driven this car in the wet. Doesn't really look very easy for him. He's sort of feathering the throttle all the way around, putting the accelerator down in sort of odd places. So I would almost guess that would be his first time in the wet in this car.
Very possibly could be the Singaporean making his way all the way over from Singapore to Japan for this event. You can see on initiation right here, just really hesitant to put full commitment into that initiation for obvious reasons. Is a little bit shallow on that first outer zone. You can see right here, just trying to make his way through the course, how slippery it is, how big and heavy that vehicle is. Around that last outer zone and then through that last inside clip. So Benjamin Chiam sitting on a 69 as we pass over Daigo Saito, who decides to bow out of that run, of his second run. We'll see where this puts Benjamin as he tries to better a 69.
You can see the wet conditions here at EBISU Circuit getting slightly wetter and wetter. It isn't really raining that heavily, but it is sort of keeping it consistently wet. I wonder if it's going to, if it starts to dry up, that's really going to make things interesting on this entry. So there you can see the layout of the track there. So a score of 55. Not a very neat run there for Ben Chiam. Struggling to get through the track. To his credit, he did manage to keep it on the black part of the track. But he'll be reverting to his score of 69 for his first qualifying run. Okay, here we have our next car number 37. Masaki Kasahara, S15 Silvia. Score of 80 on his first run. It was a very aggressive run on his first run. He's not backing off here. Nice aggressive run again. Big angle on the car, sort of fading away from the outer zone and not keeping a very consistent angle. Whoa, we can see the back of the car stepping out as he goes over the second outer zone. So the level of aggression is about the same as his first run, but yeah, it's didn't really work for him this time. Sort of washing away from the important parts of the track.
Well, it's a big ask to go above an 80 from his run number 1, but he gives it his best shot here into initiation. A little bit short on that first outer zone. A little bit long on that first inside clip. Now the second outer zone, reaching out there. Decent job there. Holds a big angle, then wraps it back around. Still pretty fluid motion. Yeah. All things considered here for Kasahara. And we'll see where this puts him as we make our way about halfway through the field of 32.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good run. Much more aggressive. Definitely not timid in the slightest way. He keeps his angle all the way around. A bit of a wheel shimmy there. Watch this. Watch as he goes up onto the ripple strip here. Watch the whoa, just almost slides out of his control, but he manages to keep it. Doesn't look worried in the slightest bit, and completes the track without any fuss whatsoever. So yeah, not able to beat his original score of 80, but still, yeah, that's a good run there. in the wet for Masaki Kasahara. Score of 72, but he'll be going off his score of 80 on his first run. Okay, so here we have our next driver, score of 82 on his first run, Atsushi Taniguchi. Pretty cool looking car there. Got a few things going on there. That Terminator headlight looks quite cool. So he had big angle and big flick on his first run. Let's see what he does in his second run. Okay, so handbrake entry again, big angle, showing the inside of the front wheel with the amount of angle he had there. Whoa, and whoa, whoa, and it's gonna spin. We have a spin. So once again, that inner clip there, proving to be a very tricky point for a lot of these drivers. Keeping the amount of angle you need and also the amount of speed you need and the timing that you need to get around that inner clipping point seems to be the most difficult part of this track, and it just bit Taniguchi there, resulting in a spin.
So Atsushi, after a very highly scored 82 on run number 1, comes back on run number 2. Big e-brake pull coming out of outer zone 1. And then a lot of angle here as he tries to navigate that first inside clip. Not able to hold it, spins out, but he'll be sitting on that 82, which will be well positioned into the top 32.
Yeah, I mean, we could just see that. You could see that you know, he had good angle going in there, but as he got around that clipping point, he sort of couldn't really decide, okay, what do I do, what do I do? And the car got away from him and results in a 0 there for Taniguchi. But that's okay because he does have an 82. That'll put him fairly high up the battle tree for tomorrow's competition. Okay, here comes our next driver now. Jin Horino in the VR38 powered 180SX, nicknamed the 380SX. You can see the SR20 engine is a little bit smaller than the VR38. You can see the huge bulge on the hood of the car there. Okay, so here we go, accelerating down the straight. Fairly early flick. Well, big flick. Whoa, well, very too much speed. Too much speed. Throw it away, throw it away. Yeah, there we go. Get it back. Okay, no problem. Whoa, that wasn't looking very good. I mean, it looked cool, but I just didn't want to see what would happen after that. Jin Horino throwing it in with lots of speed, lots of angle. Wasn't able to keep it, and quite cleverly, or quite smartly, threw it away and then continued with his run.
Well, if you're observing from home, it's not too difficult to tell when somebody's coming in pretty aggressive here. Throws a lot of angle in the car because he had a lot of speed. He's able to save it. Obviously a big understeer there. Large mistake, very aggressive, but he continues to roll through the course here, try to make something of it. He's also sitting on a pretty decent score of a 78, so no matter the outcome, he'll still be making his way into the top 32 for Jin Horino.
Yeah, of course, a score of 0 there. And lucky for him, I think, because that's the only bad thing about this run was a 0, not a written-off car. Also, one thing these guys need to be careful of is those outer zones do have those white markers on them. And those white markers are held down by a fairly heavy piece of sort of rubber and plastic, which is exactly the right sort of height to debeat a tire. So these guys, I mean, we saw there Horino losing a bit of his bodywork there. So these guys do need to be careful not to hit those things. Of course, sort of losing debeating a tire results in a...
It results in nothing.
There you go.
I mean, it results in... this is our next group.
Yes, this is our next group. So we're
yeah, debeating a tire it used to be a 0. It's not anymore. What basically could happen is you will underperform in the run potentially.
Okay. So
sometimes people can make it through and it's not a problem, but most times if it's badly debeated, it's obviously going to be hard for you to finish the run.
Okay. So that's a slight change in the rules for this year's competition?
Yeah, we did a lot of refinement to the absolute zeros.
Okay.
There's only a handful of them in qualifying and a lesser handful in tandem.
Right.
But the judges now have been granted the power to give a driver a 0 for whatever they consider to be a 0. So it allows for some flexibility on the drivers to be able to push without getting a 0 on a technicality.
Right.
And at the same time, because there's such a diversity of mistakes that can happen in a run, a judge is able to say, you know what, I think that straightening was too long, and so that's going to be a 0 for me.
Right. Obviously, we have seen a bit of that today. Some people, losing their drift and ending up with a 0. Okay, so well, of course you don't want to hit anything on these tracks apart from the apex. we're going to have our next group of drivers coming out now. They just, as you saw there, they're just being given a test drive of the track just to get a feel for how wet it is. Of course, all these guys do have spotters as well, who are up here near the judging stand. Some of them are up in the judging stands. A lot of them are actually standing down underneath the stands watching the live stream, because that does give a very good angle of the particular view. I do remember that, for example, last year, some drivers were in, I don't know about in the States, but in Japan, they were using the live stream to as a substitute for a spotter, like especially at Okayama, where the spotting position is a long way away from the pits. So they would actually sit in the pits and watch the live stream and spot using that. It was interesting. So there you go. Not only are we entertaining, we are useful. And maybe educational. I don't know. We can maybe learn something today. I don't know if I think of something. So our next group of drivers, including Yoshinori Shinozaki, TSJ All-Stars. We see him there warming up his tires. Fukada, we see in just in the background there on the left of screen. Of course, we have Imamura. We just saw there the LFA, the turbo NASCAR V8 LFA. I mean, just that group of words just makes you go, ooh. Like, sort of, you can see him coming around the final hairpin there.
Certainly not a vehicle you want to crumple into the wall over here.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that would hurt me as much as it would probably hurt the car. But I don't think we have to worry about that. Imamura is a very skilled driver, former champion. So not a Formula Drift, but former champion driver, very experienced, very serious about his driving. And I do know that he practices quite a lot in his own personal S15 Silvia. And he also drives another car in like a Toyota 86 with a twin turbo V6 in it, as a different in a different competition. So yeah, I think it should be okay. And so we also have, I think that's who we've got in this group. So here we go, Yoshinori Shinozaki, TSJ All-Stars. Very old school driver himself too. As you can see on the front bumper there, Running Free. He's a member of Team Running Free. Anyone who's been into drifting for a long time may have heard that name. He's here today in Formula Drift, so we'll be sending him out on his run. Our second group now, qualifying. It's been interesting so far. A couple of crashes, a few spins, so here we go. Second run here for the JSX 100. Okay, nice. Nice, a bit too much, throwing it too hard, and that is a half spin and a full spin. That's a shame there. Shinozaki sitting on a score of 76 in his first run. Maybe trying to improve on his second, but yeah, there's not really much to say about this run apart from, yeah, spin.
So 3 consecutive zeros here as we make our way halfway through the top 32 qualifying. You can see Shinozaki starts off pretty decent, but after initiation, just unable to hold it, and he'll give himself a 0. That'll bring up our next driver, Yamashita, Koichi Yamashita.
Yeah.
I used to call him Yamashita.
Yeah, that's okay.
I remember when I was like, oh, it's Yamashita. Interesting, because Yamashita, you can have issue with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know that if you sort of type that into the internet, sometimes it'll auto-moderate. Yeah. Also, the name Fukuda also tends to be.
Many restaurants out here similarly named without the duh.
Yeah.
And sometimes a U placed at the end. Kind of funny for Americans,
Yeah, yeah. I still giggle at that sometimes. Like, yeah.
I think it's neat.
Actually, there is a fast food restaurant here called First Kitchen, right? And the nickname is well, actually, I'll get back to this in a minute because it's quite funny. Okay, here comes our run for Fukada. Okay, nice, big aggressive entry, sticking the tail out of the car all the way. Oh, is he going to spin? Is he going to spin? He is going to spin and stop, keeps it off the dirt. Oh dear, Fukada battling car troubles earlier today and yesterday. A turbo blow. He managed to get another turbo and stuck it on his car, but Yeah, here we go, have a spin.
A little bit of a trend developing here. A lot of these guys with mid to higher scores pushing to try to do something special. The judges obviously giving us an idea of what their scale is, and we're seeing that the scale is definitely relative to the conditions, so these drivers pushing hard, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've got 4 consecutive zeros, and our last one of Fukada is the driver who received that 0, and up next, it's going to be Imamura.
Yeah. As he rolls up to the line, I was saying there's a fast food chain called First Kitchen, and the Japanese nickname for that is, like, if you say the first syllable, first part of each word, it's first, and it's like they say fasto, so far, and then kitchen, king. So if you put those together, it's yeah. So you say that the nickname of that restaurant is a rude word, which is it's quite funny. You ask a Japanese person, "Do you like First Kitchen?" and you get them to say, like, "Yes, I like it." Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's the sort of minor, hilarious things that we can do here as foreigners living in Japan. Okay, so we have our next driver. Let's get serious now with the most serious car here. LFA, Lexus LFA, being driven by Yoichi Mimura. You can hear the turbos whistling all the way from back here. V8 turbo. He's not holding back with his speed. All the way to the edge of the clipping outer zone, holding his angle around. This is a pro driver you're seeing here. LFA being driven by Imamura. Keeping it a little bit more conservative on the second half of the run, but that entry, woo, 4 zeros in a row. But this was not a 0 run. This was quite good. Let's watch the replay.
We'll talk about confidence. I mean, retail value of that vehicle is what, over $300,000?
I don't even want to think about it.
Lots of confidence here by Imamura. You can see nice rate to angle, even considering the conditions. Doesn't fill the zone, but look at the consistency. He stays on lock.
Yeah.
Not a lot of tire movement there on the front wheels. Doesn't get out to that zone, but initiation into entry into first outer zone. Very impressive there by Imamura. It'll be a strong score for him as he's sitting already on an 81. We'll see if he can better that by impressing the judges here today.
Yeah, if that run wasn't all him, he must have a really good spotter who's been telling him what he needs to do. See, he keeps the rear wheel just off the edge of the ripple strip there and keeps his angle consistent. You see here, he keeps it off the ripple strip there as well. Obviously, he has someone in his ear telling him that everyone who's been hitting those so far has been having trouble and to stay off them. So, that keeping it conservative will hurt his score, but considering we've had 4 zeros in a row.
Nice.
A score of 80 there, so not bettering his first run of 81, but still, wow, an 80 in these sorts of conditions in that sort of car is an impressive score. Okay, so that's the end of our second group of qualifying. We'll be back very shortly with our third and final group for today's qualifying sessions. We're going to have a quick 90-second commercial break. So everyone watching us around the world, stay with us. We'll be back very shortly. See you then.
Advan. Yokohama, your tire.
The brightness, called brilliant, blinding and vivid, Valentine.
スポーツモデルからコンフォートモデルまでメイドインジャパンのハイクオリティシートブリッド、あらゆるステージで使われている理由をお試しください。
ハイクオリティモータースポーツパーツレーシングギア。
brightness called brilliant, blinding and vivid. Valenti.
GPS ハイブリッド電波ソーラー G-SHOCK カシオ。Love driving. Advan. Yokohama, your tire.
スポーツモデルからコンフォートモデルまで、メイドインジャパンのハイクオリティシート、ブリッド、あらゆるステージで使われている理由をお試しください。
ハイクオリティモータースポーツパーツレーシングギア。
Hi, I'm Frederick Osbo, and I've had great experience competing on RSR products. Not only do they offer ultra-high performance at the racetrack, they also ride very comfortably. RSR Ichiban!
Okay, we are back from the Drift Japan EBISU circuit qualifying run number 2. Because we love you, we sent the cars on their sighting run during the commercial break, and they are lined up on the start line. We'll be starting the second run very shortly in the third group of qualifying cars. Seen some good action so far. A couple of spins. Poor old Benny Williams put his car into the wall there. So we have our next driver here. Kenji Yamanaka, car number 36. Tomei JZX 100. Okay, Kenji Yamanaka sitting on a score of 74, so definitely space for improvement. Here we go, entering first corner, all the way out. Well, you're going to hit that one. Outer clipping zone, keeping his angle into the inner clip. Not too bad so far. All the way to the edge of the track. Flicks it back, misses that second outer zone by a fair bit, and finishing the course. So not a bad run. I don't know if that's better than a 74 for Kenji Yamanaka, but still it was a nice clean run.
Yeah, holding it together pretty well here as Kenji Yamanaka comes into initiation here. Careful and conservative as he fills about 3/4 of outer zone number 1. A little bit of modulation there on the front wheels by Kenji as he looks to position himself, reaching out to outer zone number 2. Good fluid motion back here, holding on to a little e-brake pull there, slightly shallow on that last outer zone. But nonetheless, pretty good job there by Kenji in these conditions.
Yeah, not too bad. Of course, it is a lot easier to be very fluid in wet conditions. But on the other hand, it does make it very obvious when you do mess up. So, yeah. Just this part of the course, not too bad. You can see his wheel moving around a bit there. So not too bad on this part of the track. Is probably the best part, but we see him flick back. Yeah, there's a little bit of a pause there. So not bad by Kenji Yamanaka. And a score of 74. So matching his dry score. of 74. So there you go. I mean, that if he's getting the same score in the wet and the dry, that's a fairly consistent indication of consistency with Kenji and also with the judging, I would say. So Kenji Yamanaka sitting on the same score of 74, moving into tomorrow's top 32 competition. All right, next driver. Our first 95 score that we had in today's competition, Kazuki Hayashi. Now Hayashi, very aggressive in his solo and also tandem runs. So it'll be interesting to see. I know what he does on this run. I do know that during the warm-up run, he did go into it quite aggressively. So we'll see what he does here. So here we go. Hayashi shifting up through the gears. Flicks it in towards the first outer zone. He's going to be able to hold that. That's a bit too early to make it through and spinning out.
Yeah, I think it's probably physically possible that somebody could not fill this zone and hold that crazy angle around that inside clip if they got the timing just right.
I think that's it. That's what we keep talking about, is the timing. So watch this. So he gets the angle. Now, if the car just rotates a bit too far, if he managed to keep the momentum of the car going a bit more straight, like towards the camera, yeah, like you said, he would. It's definitely possible. If we saw that, I think we'd all lose our minds.
Yeah,
but,
it's maybe one of the few advantages of this track in the wet conditions is you could possibly get something like that where you could lose your mind.
Yeah. But,
and this might be somebody that can do it.
Our next driver, Masashi Yokoi, with a score of 85. So he would be the kind of guy who would try to do exactly what we were just talking about. Masashi Yokoi in this D-Max car, this car built, as he likes to say, it's built like a tank, built to take massive amounts of abuse and not break. So there we go, Yokoi, score of 85. That's not going to sit too well with him. I'm sure he wants to score a 95. So nice big angle all the way out, fills the outer zone, revving the car, revving the engine. Nice, just kisses that inner clip, fills the outer clip there, fills the outer zone again, just a little bit off, on and off the handbrake. No, he didn't go too insane there. He did keep it sort of slightly conservative, but the amount of control he showed there was really good.
Possibly maybe he was a little bit frightened. During his practice run, he did go into the dirt just a tiny bit, but he's able to show some really good car control here. He times it pretty well, uses some e-brake there to position himself, gets back on throttle here, wraps around this inside clip, goes wide, chooses to go wide on this outer zone, which is great. Now bringing it back around to this last outer zone, little slight e-brake pull there. So you can see the relative comfort that he has in these kind of conditions.
Yeah.
And with that 85 in run number one, I think that this is going to be a pretty well score for him.
So you see him flick it in. The car looking very stable. He's not getting a choppy angle there. He's just keeping his angle consistent. He just taps that inner clip all the way out, fills the second outer zone, keeps it a bit off the this outer zone. Bit of a handbrake there. Of course, a lot of the drivers are using handbrake there, so it's not unusual. But score. So a score of 78. So so Yokoi sitting on his score of 85, moving into the competition tomorrow. But still 78 is one of the better scores we've seen so far. We've only seen another score of 78 by Naoto Tsunaga in the wet. So Tsunaga and Yokoi getting good scores. Of course, we did see Yoichi Mimura with the 81 before. But still, that was a great run there from Yokoi in these wet conditions. Is it still raining or has it stopped? I think it might have eased off a bit. But probably by the time we finish the qualifying today, it's still going to be wet. We have about just a bit over half a dozen drivers to go. About 10 drivers to go, I think. So, yeah. We send them down from the tyre warming up area. Also in this group, we do have Masuda in the Shark JZX90. And this one, our next driver. Who is our next driver coming out now? Our next driver is Taguchi, I believe. There he is. Taguchi, car number 11. Car number 999. Formula Drift Japan, number 999, sponsored by Up Garage. Great looking car. That's very Japanese style, sort of S15 Silvia with the up garage graphics. Looks really cool. There's also he drives it well to boot, with a score of oh, hang on, score of 0. No, Taguchi.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he spun on his first run. Okay, so he has to pull this off in order to make it through to tomorrow. So he can't spin here. Is this the run or the warm? This is the sorry. This is the warm-up run. I don't have the. I'm not on the mic, so I'm not sure what they're doing. Okay, so this is the warm-up run for these guys. They're getting a run through the track to get a feel for the track conditions.
It's interesting if you look at the drivers that have come out. We see Mad Mike Woodette coming out here. A number of drivers have decided, Masuda, Izuka, Takahashi, all have decided to bow out of their second run.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
It looks that way, considering and then here's Matt Field. So that means Andrew Gray possibly, smartly possibly, because of the 95, which is putting him in second because he had the lower style score. So Hayashi sitting in first, Gray sitting in second, Woodette sitting in third, and we've got a number of drivers who are in that 70 range just saying, hey, you know what, that's enough for me today. Don't want to risk breaking the vehicle, and I'm already in the top 32, so that's pretty much what it's going to be. So I think that this might be our final field of drivers here, given what we're seeing out on course. Yeah,
well, Matt Field being the number one in the qualifying list, so and he's out there getting a test run in right now. So this is our last group for today in qualifying here at Formula Drift Japan at EBISU circuit. But Mad Mike out there, like you said, he's out there. He is sitting on a score of 94. He is in third place in qualifying. But I suppose considering how vocal he was about wanting to do qualifying at the last round, right? Where was it? Not at last round. At Long Beach.
Long Beach, yeah.
He's like, no, we do qualifying in the wet. Well, he wouldn't be able to sit out this qualifying, would he?
Nope. Well, Long Beach was, I mean, that was brutal.
That was, I mean, this place is sketchy. But this place doesn't have concrete walls.
Well, I mean, a lot of the drivers will tell you, I mean, the variable surface conditions, the fact that it's a parking lot with oil coming up, the fact that you can hit an area where there is some grip and then go to literally no grip, and there's a wall right behind you. And with the standing water, we've never seen conditions like that before. It was pretty incredible. Yeah,
it looks pretty crazy. What is it a car park for usually? It's that main corner of the right
part of the convention center. Yeah.
Oh right. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So here we go. Taguchi up garage S15.
Make a break.
Nice conservative handbrake entry. Now remember he's sitting on a 0. So basically all he has to do is finish the course without making a complete mess of it, and he will be through to tomorrow. And he should be able to do that quite neatly. So there we can see this is a textbook conservative run for Taguchi. So anything better than a 0 will be a great help to him.
Well, you got to imagine the mental awareness of Taguchi after run number 1, where he has a 0 run number 1. Then run number 2 comes around, and the rain starts coming down. Now I've got to make a score. He obviously puts on a very conservative, very tactical play here to try to get a score on the board, which it seems like he will. It's not going to be a high score, but with the number of drivers already sitting on double zeros, he certainly did not want to go into that camp, and it looks like he will not.
Yeah, that final transition there was oh wow, that's barely the limit of losing your drift, and you just managed to keep it just right on the edge of keeping it drifting. So yeah, so here you go, conservative run. But even though it was a conservative run, it will still, it was quite neat. He wasn't choppy all over the place, so just there. Yep, well that's a drift, and around into the final corner. So yeah, Taguchi, we're getting a score for him. Yeah, anything better than a 0 is what he's aiming for. Yeah, like you said, I'd hate to see him when okay, we got second qualifying. Oh, it started raining. Oh, great, yeah. So we'll be having his score come up fairly soon. So yeah, Masuda in the Shark has passed Izuka as well in the White JZX 100. Let's see, who else we have?
And there we go.
Takahashi. So a score of 55. So good enough. Good enough there for Taguchi. He will be going through tomorrow. I would say that would put him in dead last place. So he's going to be up against, if things go the way they are, up against Hayashi in his first run. So our first run of the day should be pretty good. Taguchi is usually quite good at tandem runs.
Actually, we do have we have 32 drivers. We have a couple double zeros.
Oh, you're
the
right.
Number one
yes.
qualifier will probably get a bye.
Yep. Actually, you're right. There you go. So, so we have our next driver here. Oshiro put in a great score in his first run of 84. It was a good run. Yeah, I think he maybe went out to sort of take a gamble to see if he could handle the wet conditions. But probably right now he's thinking, that wasn't a great idea. It's funny how, like, when you put, normally when people go drifting, it's wet. Oh, yeah, no worries, it's easy. Oh, my tires will last all day. Whereas you put them in a competition situation, then all of a sudden it just all goes to hell.
Yeah, I mean, especially at a course like this where you've basically been conditioned over the last day and a half to run maximum speed down through this short run-up and then throw a lot of angle into the car. In these conditions, that's pretty much exactly what you don't want to do, especially considering that nice wall of dirt over there. So Oshiro laying down a pretty conservative and the best run he can in these conditions. He's already got that 84. He's not going to beat that, but he will be a top contender tomorrow in our top 32 with that 84.
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing speeds of, I don't know what was the top speed in practice and qualifying. It was like 130 something.
Yeah, I saw one. Yeah, I think I saw one between 135 and 140.
Right, and that was Imamura, I think it was, in the LFA. So the score of 57 for Oshiro. So he'll be sitting on his 84 going into tomorrow. Yeah, we're seeing speeds dropping quite dramatically right now. Almost not even 100 kilometers an hour on the entries, as people are starting to enter a lot further back because they're pulling the handbrake in order to get enough angle to, because they can't rotate the car quickly, so they have to start a lot further back in order to rotate the car into the angle that they want. Okay, next driver, Mad Mike Widet in the FD RX7 Team Magic built car with Red Bull. Shifting through the gears. Nice angle. He's going to hit that one. Deep into the outer zone. Hits the second clip out onto the second outer zone. If noise translated into speed, he'd be doing 300 k's an hour right now, but these wet conditions, revving out that four rotor.
Well, it's actually really interesting to see what kind of transpired here with Mad Mike Widet already sitting on a very high score of 94, which puts him in the third place. I think this run is basically telling us, yeah, guys, I can drive in the rain. Check this out. I mean, this is a really, really good run. He just misjudges that a little bit, but look at the consistency here in the front wheels. Not a lot of movement, great angle here, goes wide into that outer zone. Then a good fluid transition back around here. I mean, I still think this is going to be a good score. It's not going to be a 94, but this is Mad Mike Widet showing everybody that he's comfortable to drive in the rain. Yeah,
it was a nice clean run. Like you said, not much correction. Maybe a little bit slow in the middle section, but I mean, it's wet. I mean, everyone's been doing driving fairly slow so far. But, so a score of 94 for Mad Mike on his first run. So that'll. I'm pretty sure he's not going to top that. That will safely put him into a high score in the third place for tomorrow's competition. Of course, Mike not really having a whole lot of track time in this car either, so maybe wanting to get as much time as possible. We have Mike Spotter all the way from New Zealand. JT is actually a very, very old school drift driver from New Zealand. He's one of the original drift drivers from New Zealand. Okay, score of 72 there for Mad Mike. JT also spotting for Mike in the USA as well. So shout out to New Zealand. Chubru. So our final run now. Car number 777, Matt Field. Is he number 777 in the States as well?
He is.
Okay. Matt Field in his borrowed SR20 powered S13 Silvia. Big flick. Not too bad there. Getting into the outer zone. Nice clean run here so far. Just keeping it off the ripple strip there. Nice flick back, a little bit on the handbrake there. Pretty much like most of the other runs we've seen so far here today. Yeah, good run there. I think probably Matt treating this as, with a score of 86 already on the books, probably just treating as more, more seat time.
Well, it'll be interesting. The highest score in the rain we've seen so far is an 80. We'll see if Matt can get close to that. And the last score is a 72 by Mike Woodette. Good initiation here. Now, he uses basically the angle and the momentum of the car to get into that first outer zone. Not using a lot of e-brakes, so pretty impressive there by Matt, considering not a lot of time to practice in the rain at all. So Matt making his way through the course here. A little slight e-brake there. Like you said, very similar to some of the other runs, and he's already got a pretty good score with that 86 in run number 1, so he's well situated in the top 32.
Yeah, so we'll be getting his score very shortly. But yeah, score of 86 probably won't be beaten by this run. But, still, yeah, good consistent runs here from Matt Field in a car that's obviously not his. He's here driving this in Formula Drift Japan, built by STF, a tuning shop. So a score of 74 there for Matt Field. So not beating his score of 86. Still a good run there. Matt Field will be out there tomorrow in the top 32. So that brings to a close the qualifying for this round of Formula Drift Japan. Hello, this is where we are. How you doing? There we are. Okay, so thanks for joining us wherever you're watching from around the world. It's been fun. We, it started off dry. We had wet. We had a few, crashes and some interesting stuff going on. So I think that was a really good qualifying today.
I did too. I mean, it was pretty interesting to see the guys handle the wet conditions. We saw some really incredible runs in run number 1 in the dry conditions.
Yeah, yes.
With Kazuki Hayashi, your number 1 qualifier, Andrew Gray coming in second, and of course, Mad Mike Woodette in third. 95, 95, 94. Very impressive and a lot to look forward to for tomorrow.
Yeah, this track, at first glance, it might not look all that amazing, but as we've seen, it's very technical. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. There's a lot of things that'll test the drivers. As you can see, it's a little compact track, but there's a lot to it. So we're looking forward to competition tomorrow. So make sure you join us on formuladrift.com/live. We'll be starting. What time are we starting tomorrow?
All the times are on our Instagram account, on our Facebook page.
Yep.
I think we get kicked off tomorrow sometime around 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, and whatever time that is here, not off the top of my head. So
Okay, yeah. So
check it out on the website.
You're already on the internet, so just make sure you check it out. Okay, here we go. So this is tomorrow. Let's see. Main competition round of 32. So that's 9:30 Japanese time. I don't know what time that is in the States or in Europe or anything like that. So basically, just go to, if you have Instagram, check it out on Instagram, the Formula Drift Instagram. You can go to formuladrift.com/live. That'll have all the information on there. Also, if you don't know what time that is in your part of the world, all you have to do is just type in, that time, starting this time in Japan. Just type it into Google or something like that. It'll give you a translation, and you'll have an idea of what time it'll be. We have that here. Okay, live stream will start tomorrow. Top qualifying, that's today. Competition tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's a good time to be able to watch. So you can knock off work and watch a bit of drifting. That would be 9 a.m. Japanese time. And top 16 will start from 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the United States. That is 1 p.m. in Japan. So great time to be able to watch drifting on the internet. From wherever you're going to join us from around the world, we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow here at EBISU Circuit here in Fukushima Prefecture in Japan. It's a great track. We're seeing some great driving. It's been really enjoyable. I hope you can join us tomorrow. So my name's Alexi Smith. I'm here with Ryan Sage. We'll see you tomorrow on the internet, the live stream. Come and join us. We'll see you then. Bye.